As with any fringe product or service, there are multiple myths surrounding, well, cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies aren't just for computer nerds and geeks and drug dealers just trying to avoid the government. More and more people are using cryptocurrency. Hey there, my name is Ken French. I'm with vastsolutionsgroup.com, where we do tax finance and artificial intelligence. You might ask, why are we doing a podcast specifically about cryptocurrencies and the myths surrounding them? Well, we are big advocates of cryptocurrency, and we think that we need to help at least enumerate the myths and maybe, who knows, help some investors along the way get into cryptocurrencies. Myths regarding cryptocurrencies, they're all over the place. Cryptocurrency is illegal. You've probably heard that. It does depend on the country. It's legal in the United States, where we originate from, actually, and we're in Washington State and Nevada. But, there are other countries such as Russia that deemed it illegal. China now basically has deemed it illegal, although there's some people getting away with it. It's unlikely the legal status will change anytime soon in the United States, by the way. It's really hard. It would be very difficult to, stop cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, et cetera, although it probably somehow will be regulated. Who knows in what sense, and also Bitcoin, it's the only relevant cryptocurrency. You've probably heard that. Maybe that's a myth too. You've heard, there are several other cryptocurrencies. People have got to be aware of those. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. Bitcoin, that was released in 2009, roughly, really 2008, as a white paper. It's the oldest and most well-known of them. But, I'm going to mention at least just a few other cryptocurrencies worth at least maybe potentially looking into. There's Blackcoin, there's Dash, Dogecoin, Digital Note, Ethereum, Litecoin, Mastercoin. There's a whole bunch. And daily, there's more coming out. You got to be very careful of these things called ICOs. You got to be very careful. They're basically, these coins are being minted, and sometimes with nefarious ideas behind them or nefarious people behind them, so you're not making money. It's just kind of like an initial public offering for a company. Instead, it's an initial coin offering for basically a coin or sometimes even a token, depending on the circumstances. Fine, let's talk about number three. Number three myth: only criminals have used for cryptocurrency. Maybe that's abating a little bit. But anyway, while cryptocurrencies continue to be used for illegal activities, cash is still king for illegal transactions. At least I would assume so. There are reputable, retailers that accept cryptocurrencies. We at vastsolutionsgroup.com, we do accept cryptocurrency, and we have for years. Number four myth I'd say that's out there: I could get rich with cryptocurrency. Well, to a certain extent. The potential for profits does totally exist. People have gotten wealthy, through increases in the value of cryptocurrency. However, just as many people have lost a tremendous amount of money. Think about that as well. It might happen, but you're unlikely to retire on your cryptocurrency purchases, especially when we don't really know what's going to happen with cryptocurrencies going forward. Let's talk about, how about number five? Cryptocurrencies are fiat currencies. What is that? Most of them are. Well, that's true, but, so is the euro, so is the US dollar. All major world currencies have abandoned a gold standard. The US decoupled from the gold standard in 1933. The value of all fiat currency is based on the willingness of the public to agree that it actually does possess value. What about the government can shut down cryptocurrencies? Let's talk about that. That's kind of a myth. Depending on the circumstances. The government could make cryptocurrencies illegal, but shutting down the whole system would be very, 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 very difficult. There's no central server, generally, or location that houses a cryptocurrency system. As you've probably heard, there's this thing called the blockchain. The information is stored on computers of every user, basically. So unless the government can find a way to shut down the internet, it would be a challenge to put an end to cryptocurrencies in general. It's easy to mine cryptocurrency and money, and make money. A lot of people think that. Maybe back in the day, entire companies have been built for the sole purpose of mining cryptocurrencies or making cryptocurrencies. It requires a tremendous amount of computer hardware and electricity to be successful. Unless you've got, several hundreds of thousands of dollars, can't even begin to compete in that market. The bigger ones usually are the ones who are going to succeed. Although I do know of a number of people who are doing it and making at least a small amount of money. But to make real money for your investment or return on dollars, it might make sense to have big dollars investing in that world. Cryptocurrencies are subject to hacking. Let's talk about that. Bitcoin merchants and wallets have been subject to hacking activities, there's no doubt. However, Bitcoin itself has never been hacked. Other cryptocurrencies have similar security profiles. what I would say is insufficient security is always a potential problem, but really you got to protect your wallet, your own wallet. Make a cold wallet. You can call us at 888-808-8278 extension 700 to talk about what the different protection measures that are in place between cold wallets, hot wallets, warm wallets, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of things that go into it. I will say you do have to make sure your wallet and your cryptocurrency is protected. You got to be very, very careful. People say it's impossible to trace cryptocurrency transactions. It's not easy, but it definitely can be done. Regarding, let's say, Bitcoin, the blockchain ledger lists all the transactions that have ever occurred since 2008 with Bitcoin. So think about that. Every single transaction that occurs, you can see. It's immutable. You can't change it generally. It's always going to be out there, meaning whatever transactions have occurred with, in this case, Bitcoin. Now, the challenging part is linking the wallet addresses with the owners. Some people don't want their wallets to be known. Some people do want their wallets to be known, meaning their address, I should say. With enough time and effort, the government can totally track you down. It's a lot of work, I'm going to tell you that. The government has seized and auctioned off millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Now, have you been guilty of believing any of these myths? I think we've gone over 9 or 10 myths. It's easy to, believe in the myths, especially when it's a new asset class. Cryptocurrencies still, they're not common. Not very many people really have them if you think about it. The normal ma and pa, I would say, do not have cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, ETH, et cetera, et cetera. Hence the reason it's easily formed as far as the myths. I would say become knowledgeable about cryptocurrency. It's worth your time. A lot of money could be made potentially. You have to research. Because that's the nice thing about Bitcoin is it's decentralized. There's no central group that's in charge of it nor making money on it. So you have to research it your own way as an individual investor or as an entrepreneur, etc. Speaking of entrepreneurs, that's normally who we work with here at vastsolutionsgroup.com. We do, again, tax, finance, and artificial intelligence to help entrepreneurs to lower their taxes and hopefully become that much more wealthy in the end. Once again, I'm going to say my name is Kenneth French. I really appreciate you spending the time on this. Hopefully this has been helpful in some way, some shape, or form. You feel a little bit more comfortable now that you know the myths concerning cryptocurrencies.